Die My Love is a film about what happens after the dream ends. It starts with love, a new home, and a new baby, but slowly turns into a story about isolation, desire, and a woman losing herself in silence. Jackson inherits his uncle's house in rural Montana after his death. He moves there from New York with his pregnant girlfriend, Grace. The couple settles into the quiet, isolated home, and soon after, Grace gives birth to a baby boy. The house represents a new beginning, but it also carries a sense of isolation and latent danger. Its calm and peaceful appearance masks the pain and tragedy that will unfold within it. At first, Grace and Jackson seem genuinely happy. They play together, laugh, and enjoy the freedom of the open land surrounding the house. Grace explores the woods nearby and seems alive in the natural space. This scene portrays the fleeting nature of happiness. The open landscape symbolizes freedom and possibility, but it foreshadows the emotional isolation Grace will later experience. After the baby is born, Grace begins to feel trapped. Jackson is away for work for long periods, leaving Grace alone with the child. She feels bored, lonely, and abandoned as days pass slowly and repetitively. Motherhood is depicted as isolating rather than purely joyful. The silence of the house mirrors Grace's internal emptiness, emphasizing her emotional stagnation. Grace discovers that Jackson is sleeping with other women while he is away for work. She feels rejected, unwanted, and alone. In response, she begins masturbating both inside the house and in the surrounding woods, seeking relief from her frustration. Sexuality becomes a coping mechanism rather than an expression of intimacy. The woods symbolize untamed desire and an escape from societal expectations, reflecting Grace's struggle to reclaim control over her life. Grace visits Jackson's mother, Pam, who is grieving her husband's death. They talk over iced tea about the difficulties Pam has faced navigating life without her husband. When the conversation turns to Grace's mood swings and her struggles with her current life, Grace leaves abruptly. She also learns that Jackson's uncle, who left them the house, died by suicide. This scene illustrates generational suffering. Pam endured her loss internally, while Grace struggles visibly. The house becomes a symbol of inherited pain, linking past tragedy to Grace's present struggles. Jackson brings home a dog without consulting Grace. The dog constantly barks and disrupts the household. When the dog is injured in a car accident, Grace demands that Jackson shoot it to end its suffering. When he refuses, Grace shoots the dog herself. The dog represents unexpected responsibility and the burden of care. Grace equates mercy with action and demonstrates her growing impatience with suffering, foreshadowing her escalating instability. Grace's behavior becomes increasingly erratic. She carries knives, begins an affair with a stranger on a motorcycle, and throws herself through a glass door in a moment of extreme emotion. Jackson and Grace argue constantly, each fight intensifying her spiraling behavior. The knives symbolize danger, self-harm, and volatility. The glass door represents fragility, both of Grace's mental state and of her relationship with Jackson. The motorcycle affair symbolizes an attempt to escape her suffocating environment. During a playful moment in the grass, Jackson proposes to Grace. For a brief moment, the couple reconnects and seems close, reminiscent of happier times. The proposal represents an attempt to fix their relationship superficially. Love is offered as a solution, but it does not address the underlying emotional problems. The wedding begins happily, but deteriorates quickly. Grace repeatedly asks Jackson to kiss her, and he refuses. He leaves her alone on the dance floor, forcing her to retreat to the bridal suite by herself. The contrast between public celebration and private rejection highlights Grace's isolation. The wedding dress symbolizes a promise that has already been broken, and her loneliness shows the emotional gap in their relationship. Grace waits alone in her hotel room and asks the receptionist for ice for a champagne bottle. She dances alone to music, and suddenly, she smashes her head into a mirror, causing herself to bleed. The mirror represents Grace's fractured self-image. Breaking it demonstrates her self-hatred and emotional turmoil. Her actions show how she seeks to feel something real in a life that has become emotionally numb. Grace walks home at night, pushing the baby in a stroller. Jackson notices her and silently guides them into the car without speaking. This scene emphasizes control and observation. Grace feels limited, and her freedom is constrained as Jackson quietly asserts authority over her actions. Jackson commits Grace to a psychiatric hospital. A psychiatrist discusses her childhood and suggests she has abandonment issues stemming from the loss of her parents. Grace listens but feels reduced to a diagnosis rather than understood as a person. Mental health treatment is portrayed as clinical rather than empathetic. Grace's pain is analyzed but not validated emotionally, highlighting society's inability to truly see her suffering. Grace is released from the hospital and appears calmer. However, the house has been remodeled, repainted, and cleaned in her absence. Jackson has also bought a new car. Grace feels out of place in what used to be her home. The remodeled house symbolizes control and erasure of chaos. Grace's absence allowed Jackson to reshape their environment, making it clear to her that she might not be needed. At a welcome back party, guests comment on how healthy Grace looks. She becomes upset and tries to leave. Jackson drives her away, and during the drive, Grace tells him he does not truly see her and that she cannot go back to her previous life. Being told she looks better invalidates Grace's lived experience. The scene shows the tension between external appearances and internal reality, highlighting the disconnect between how she feels and how others perceive her. Grace and Jackson stop the car and sit in silence. She kisses him and says, "Enough," before walking alone into the forest. Grace takes control of her destiny. The forest symbolizes freedom and escape from societal and relational constraints. Her statement, "Enough," signals her desire to stop living according to others' expectations. Grace burns her psychiatric journal and removes her dress. Jackson realizes she is in danger and runs after her, but is too late. Grace walks into the spreading fire. Fire represents release, destruction, and a final form of control. Burning the journal signifies rejecting imposed definitions of her identity. Grace's choice is tragic, but it is her own, reclaiming agency over her life and death. Die My Love is not just about madness. It is about loneliness, motherhood, betrayal, and being unseen. Grace does not want to die. She wants to escape a life where her pain is ignored. The film asks us to consider, what happens when love exists, but understanding doesn't? Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.